Hey guys, and welcome to a video today on Arc 2. Now this is a video I've been waiting to make for a long time. I did make one about a month ago going over what we have seen so far about Arc 2, which was not a lot to be honest. But today we have some new news. They released some bits a few days ago. I think it was probably a couple of days ago now actually. With a trailer and a bit about the game mechanics and all of that stuff here. So we're going to go straight into it and I'll show you guys the trailer.
My dad tells stories of a terrible war that happened across the sky. Heroes fought and died to give us a chance to start over. All that I know from their Earth are the creatures they sent along with us. And here on Arat, every day is a fight to survive. But if anyone can tame this new world, we can.
So there you go, guys. That is the short little trailer that they gave out. Quite a lot to go over in that, actually, and I'm going to take you through a few bits of it there. But as you can see, if you did see my last video, we did predict the date was going to be 2023 rather than the initially announced 2022. It's too late through the year now for it to have been this year. But next year, hopefully not too late into the year, because we want to we want to be able to get to this game as quickly as possible. But yeah, we're gonna first of all go through the about this game part. Obviously this is on Steam now, so you can add it to your wish list and all that stuff, which I've already done. But anyway, survive the past, tame the future. Suddenly awaken on a strange primal world filled with dinosaurs and humans struggling for dominance. You must piece together the history of how you arrived there, team up with legendary heroes, and confront powerful dark forces seeking to control the fate of all life. Saddle up and join the definitive next generation survival experience with Arc 2. Every aspect of the Arc series has been rethought and redesigned in this sequel. Here's a sampling of the new features that Arc 2 will contain upon the initial early access release. So similarly to Arc Survival Evolved, we are going to have an early access release on Steam. I know that PlayStation and Xbox came out later, I think, on Survival Evolved. But obviously we've got Vin Diesel as Riddick. Yeah, as the legendary Arc hero Santiago, which is the bald man Vin Diesel that we saw riding the T-Rex there. And I don't know if this game's going to be more of an RPG story-ish game. Obviously, there was some story to Ark Survival Evolved, but it was very loose story. It's quite sandboxy. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more story-based in this one. Hopefully not taking away too much of the sandbox features, because that's quite a lot of what Ark was about, was doing your own thing and building your own stuff. Revolutionary cross-platform modding. Fully stackable user-created mods for new creatures, items, gameplay features, and maps are now distributed across all platforms, along with support for modded unofficial servers. So that is something that quite a lot of people have asked for. They're actually back in the mods now. So for those of you that know Skyrim, I know that a lot of them are they have quite a few mods that are actually backed by the game itself, rather than something that a random person like me or yourself has done. So next up is the best-in-class third-person only gameplay. Advanced character traversal mechanics like mantling, free climbing, parkour, sliding, and swinging. So it sounds like the game is going to be only third-person, as it says, which is quite a bit different to the original. Obviously, you could go into third-person in Ark Survival Evolved, but it's completely optional. Whereas now it seems like that's going to be possibly the only way. But there is a lot more of sort of, your movement-y type stuff with the parkour, sliding, swinging. Hopefully that'll be quite interesting when it comes to fighting for the PvP people out there, and getting to different spots for taming and all that stuff. Might take a little bit of getting used to for those of us. Me personally, I only ever play in first person really, so it's going to be a bit different, but it'll be something we can get used to, and hopefully it's not too bad. Souls-like melee combat. So there's going to be target lock, blocks, dodges, combos, staggers, special attacks, emphasizing player skill-based action. So I'm sure many of you know sort of your Elden Rings that have been out recently, games like that. Quite tactical in a way, skill based. You need to know when to dodge, when to hit, and all that stuff. So it's going to sound similar to that. I don't know how that's going to work between the zombie people that we see in the original trailers and dinosaurs. I don't know if it's going to work the same or if it'll be different mechanics for that. But obviously, being able to possibly dodge or block something of a similar size to you in terms of dinosaurs could be pretty useful rather than just getting hit like we have been in Ark Survival Evolved. For PvP, I think this is going to have a massive, massive change. I suppose early game, because later on you use your guns and your dinosaurs and stuff a lot, but being forced to actually be good at melee combat could, change how you get on in the game. It could make it a lot easier for you. It might make it a lot harder for you, but that's something you're gonna have to get used to if you stick through with this game. A massive new alien environment. Explore a mysterious, chaotic world where native flora and fauna are being overrun by invasive, primeval creatures from an extinct Earth. Now we saw a bit there about the in the trailer where it's quite an overgrown, green, grassy environment. And obviously we saw a few dinosaurs there that we'll get into in a minute. Component-based item crafting. Construct your weapons and tools from a range of distinct modules to customize their look and functionality. Now that sounds pretty cool if you can sort of make your weapons look their own way. If it is pretty unique, hopefully they haven't just said that broadly, and that you can sort of customize your weapons so that everyone's a bit different in a way. Millions of possible combinations, there you go, enable you to craft your own unique gear. So that sounds pretty cool if you ask me, having your own stuff that sort of differentiates you from everyone else. Specific materials you choose will further affect the appearance of your items, with multiple options of resources found in the unique regions of the world. So that comes across as saying whether you get your, obviously, different biomes, get your resources from different biomes, all of that could factor into how your weaponry and stuff looks different, which, again, as I say, sounds pretty cool. Dynamic world events. Natural and unnatural occurrences are always happening across the game world, independent of your presence. Your choices in deciding whether to interact with these events will yield rewards and challenges. Now, I think it's Extinction. I get the maps confused all the time, where they have the meteorite things come down. Excuse me, and you can choose to fight and get the care packagey thing. I don't know if that's going to be similar to this or almost sort of like care packagey events that allow you to get better weapons or blueprints or whatever. Hopefully, blueprints are still in the game because they've been a pretty crucial part of Ark. Opposing PvE force. Hostile Aratai, I think that's how you say it, hunt and attack you riding their own tamed creatures as they seek to drive human interlopers from their world. Interlopers, don't know how you say that word, never heard of it. Well, I believe these are the zombie guys with the blue face paint. So as I say, it's basically going to be PvP in PvE. It's just a case of it being AI rather than real people, so they're going to have their own teams, and I imagine that's going to make it a lot more of a challenge in the PvE, which is for me pretty cool because I think it can be pretty easy once you get decent teams in PvE for Ark Survival Evolved. It's not a massive challenge there, so that sounds really good to me. Advanced template building and sharing. Instance rendering and network streaming enable much higher client and server performance for larger player-built structures and longer draw distances. Survivors can set up and save their own preferred build-in templates, share them, and place respective template layouts in the world, then build them out as a team. So that sounds to me almost like The Forest. If any of you have ever played that, you can go in your little book, place down a template, and then it's there, and you can see it as sort of a half invisible thing. The building's there, but it's not there, and then you build it as you go in and you get the materials and all that stuff. I don't know if I've explained that very well, but I'm sure those of you that play The Forest know what I'm talking about. Sensory-based creature AI. No omnipresent radar. Animals now track and hunt by sight, sound, and smell. hide from your predators with visual camouflage and environmental obstructions, and learn to mask your scent. Dynamic pathfinding enables creatures to intelligently maneuver around obstacles and player-built structures. Now, again, that is something that I think has always been a bit dodgy in Ark Survival Evolved, is the animal lock-ons and all that stuff. If you get in a certain range, they're straight on you. So it now sounds like you can almost be a bit sneaky, and you don't have to pick out a fight every time you go near something. You can sneak around or camouflage yourself in. The only sort of real camouflage you had was the ghillie suit, which again wasn't a massively amazing thing in Ark. That sounds pretty cool. Obviously, the intelligently maneuver around them, that could be doing stuff such as the swinging and sliding, if that somehow maneuvers into the same part of the game. Character progression and skill system gain both experience points from gameplay and knowledge points by accomplishing key objectives and overcoming unique challenges to progress along a massive skill tree filled with new active abilities, perks, and passive benefits. So it does sound like there's going to be your little like checkpoint task, things that you need to do, that's going to help you get new stuff in the game, which for people who don't play the game very often, it could be a guide to what you need to do and how you need to get there, and something for people to stay focused on. Full utilization of Unreal Engine 5 technology. See foliage react convincingly to passing wildlife, water flow downstream around obstacles, volumetric storm clouds, localized weathering systems, smoke and particles affected by physical forces, and much more. Fundamental advancements of lighting systems enable more photorealistic day-night cycle, generating real-time ambient lighting and shadows within both natural and player-constructed environments. So again, there's something that we've really needed in Ark Survival Evolved that we knew was never really going to come. It sounds like it's just going to be a massive environmental graphical update. So, you know, as we say, foliage moving, water moving, all that stuff. You only really have the basics of that in Ark, where it moves a little bit because of wind or whatever. So that looks like it's going to be a bit of a key feature to the graphical part of Ark 2. You know, a bit more of an in-detailed environment around you, which just, I mean, it's going to make it a little bit harder to run for your computers, guys, but it's going to make it look a lot better and seem a lot more realistic. So I'm going to go over some of these photos we see here. We see Santiago and the girl on the T-Rex. It's got some really cool armory gear. I'm guessing this is kind of like armor. I'm hoping it's not just a skin. I'm hoping this is something that actually helps protect the T-Rex here. He's got a little flag on it. That's pretty cool. But I certainly like the facial feature things over there. That is pretty cool. Up next we have these guys. I'm 99% sure that these are the new Velociraptors or Utah Raptors, whatever it is we have in Ark, the Raptors. They have gone for a more furry, feathery approach. Obviously, we've always had this little head fluff, but they've gone full Apple TV prehistoric planet Velociraptor now, which is pretty cool. I think it's what we needed. There's a lot of people that are into dinosaurs know that we're seeing a lot more stuff be feathered now. So for the realism aspect, I think it's pretty cool. They certainly look quite cool to me here. And just back to that point of the overgrown world and the moving fauna and everything, it's going to be a big effect. Obviously, this is a very overgrown world, so seeing these trees move and as animals move, all of the floor moves and stuff like that, it's gonna be pretty cool. As we say here, we've got Santiago on top of the Rex. Again, the Rex has its own little spiky fluff thing. I really do hope this is something that you can customize and makes, again, something like that's your own and unique to everyone else, because it's a pretty cool saddle and armor set. So hopefully that's something we can get more of, and certainly on lots of types of dinosaurs. We saw here early in the trailer, the dodo. It makes its appearance again in Ark 2, and it's eating Survivor arm that's got its little implant there. Certainly looks pretty similar. I don't know if this is actually in-game. I'm assuming it's not in-game content that they've got here, but the realism in this is pretty cool. So if the graphics just, they need to be amazing in this next game. Arc 2 was good for when it came out. It's always done a job, but Arc Survival Evolved, sorry, it's always done a job. But to get it up there, it needs to have these good graphics. This is from the original, I think, the original trailer. Again, you have the spiky hair T-Rex, and I wonder if this is actually the same T-Rex. I wonder if he tames this, and that's what we saw in this second trailer. That'd be pretty cool if it is. Again, he looks so mean. I think that the reptile face with scruffy hair almost makes them look scarier. And that is certainly something that Ark Survival Evolved doesn't really have. A lot of the dinosaurs aren't visually very scary. So this guy, he looks mean. So hopefully he is mean, and Arc 2 is a challenge. But as I say, guys, this is a big development in terms of information of Arc 2. We haven't known a lot about it up until sort of these last couple of days. As I said in my last video, it's been almost silent. But they have come out. It's on Steam now. You can wishlist it. Ready for 2023, hopefully. If it gets pushed back any more than that, then it's a joke. But it shouldn't now, because they've got it out. They've put it out completely public now. They've got everything's out here. It sounds like they're getting on with it. And for one, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it's. I always want it to be similar to Ark Survival Evolved, because that's the game I loved ever since it came out. But obviously it does need changes and it does need improvements, and I think we are going to see massive improvements here. Anyway, if you've enjoyed or you found any of this useful, please drop a like. Feel free to subscribe, it's free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.